Hi folks, my name is Josh Nelson. I'm one of the partners of AgriLab Technologies. We specialize in heat capture and transfer from the aerobic composting process. The aerobic process relies on microbes and bacteria that work so hard and so fast they literally generate heat in the range of 150 to 165 degrees. And through AgriLabs and our IsoBar technology, we have learned how to capture this heat energy stored in water reservoirs and use it on farms for basically reducing their dependence on grid-based energy and also help wean them from using synthetic fertilizers, which are 98% based on petroleum and natural gas related products. Why is this important? A really very simple reason. We've mined the micronutrients out of our soil, and plants are only as healthy as the soil that they live in. And when a plant becomes weak, you need to bombard it with herbicides and pesticides to control the blight and the pests that are attacking it. And in the process, this pollutes water tables. It creates all sorts of health problems for the farm. It leaches into the aquifers. It's a no-win situation. According to the US EPA in 2010, only 34% of all the mixed solid waste in this country was captured for recycling and composting. And of that, a whopping 3% of the material collected was food scraps. That means 97% of all the food scraps and food waste generated in the US alone is still going into landfills. Why is that important? It's important because when you put anything organic into a landfill undercover, depleted of oxygen, it converts into methane gas, which is an anaerobic process. And when that happens, basically you're generating methane gas, which is 23 times more powerful than CO2 and its impact on the air and the quality of our environment. And 54% of all the waste generated in the United States in 2010 was landfilled. 12% was incinerated, impacting air quality. By pulling the organics out, which, depending where you are and which items you're looking at, it represents almost 50% of the waste stream. And it's a huge number. And we need to get this material out. Why? This planet loses 1% of its viable, good topsoil annually. And times 10 years, 10% of our topsoil is a staggering amount. This planet loses 27 million acres of arable soil every year due to loss of fertility, erosion, and improper housing development. This is really very significant when you look at a planet that just went to the 7 billion number and is anticipated to hit 13 billion within the next 35 to 40 years. How are we going to feed this planet? We need to be smart, we need to be conscientious, we need to capture all the organics, and we need to compost as much of it as possible and get it back into the soil. I've spent a lot of my life working and addressing international development issues. And as much as I love being off in other countries doing work, I also recognize critically that the United States has got to be strong. With our 300+ million people here in the United States, we only have approximately 2 acres of arable land for every man, woman, and child. And as we progress forward over the next 30, 40, 50 years, this number is going to be rapidly declining. So we need to make sure that the U.S. is strong so that we in turn can be able to help other countries. We've seen a lot of impact as far as the decrease in food quality in the United States. We're seeing everything from attention deficit disorder in children to increased cancer rates related to the numbers of herbicides and pesticides used, and it's just plain and simple unhealthy. What we do with AgriLab through our heat capture is we provide an incredible incentive for farms and operations that are composting to then glean and capture that heat and use it to offset their dependence, making their operations much more economically viable. It sounds simple. It's hard. We've got a couple systems in place on the ground that we've worked very hard to perfect over the last couple of years. We know that we can build these systems on a small scale through a large scale capacity. A lot of folks are down on what's going on with the U.S. agricultural system, but the bottom line is we need to give those big operations, as much as they're doing a bad job today, we need to give big farms and big ag better, safer, smarter tools. And that's where AgriLab Technology comes in. We know we have something extremely valuable that the world needs. We can implement our technology domestically. We can implement it internationally. In the first video clip that we had up at the site, we showed a big mechanical room with one of our systems. It probably looked like something between a rocket ship and a submarine to those who aren't familiar with it. But it's neat technology. It's extremely simple to operate and manage. It's safe, and it's the direction this planet needs to go. We're thrilled to be participating in the Unreasonable Institute, and for any of you who want to learn more, we encourage you to visit us at our website, which is AgriLab, AgriLabTech.com. Thank you very much. Take care.